सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। Hari Om. So in this vision of Vedanta, which we usually do every Sunday, the last Sunday we had the Tripti Deepa going during that time. So we are doing this for the last Sunday, and the coming Sunday also tomorrow we completed Tattva Viveka from Panchadashi for the Vision of Vedanta series last. And this is the 63rd week since last April that we've been seeing very interesting texts on Vedanta every Sunday. So this text is a hymn to Dakshinamurti, Sri Dakshinamurti Stotra by Adi Sankaracharya. There's a commentary by Swami Chinmaya and published by Central Chinmaya Mission Trust, Chinmaya Prakashan. Dakshinamurti Stotra, many people who love Dakshinamurti, the god clad in yellow, Shiva, in the form of a teacher, sitting facing south. And every Thursday, very ideally, this is also a Thursday, without my planning, we have begun this. Every Thursday, people who want good knowledge to excel well in their studies and their academics or any form of learning that they do, they pray to the Bhagavan Dakshinamurti with a mala, with a garland of chickpeas and yellow clothes offered on Thursdays in temples. Dakshinamurti Stotra is very, very famous, and they chant the Dakshinamurti Stotra, especially the Dhyana that we are going to see today. Sri Dakshinamurti Stotra is very short, but more than a stotra, more than a stuti, it is a very philosophically revealing verses. And Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmaya ji has given a very beautiful commentary on this. These stanzas, he says, are not lessons addressed to new initiates. So if you are lovingly listening to Dakshinamurti Stotra, understand that you have delved already deep into Vedanta and tried to grasp the meaning of what the Upanishads say. And Dakshinamurti Stotra is a stotra that's meant for advanced students. Their discussions with students who have already studied fully the Shastras and are now to enter into their meditative seat with they have finished the Shravanam and they are entering into the phase of Mananam, for which these Dakshinamurti Stotra verses will be very useful. There is a lovely pattern of thought development in the stanzas, which are linked together in a very beautiful garland. It's a garland of philosophical thoughts based on the declarations from the Upanishad Rishis. We will today see into the meditative verses of Dakshinamurti Stotra, which is very famous. These songs, these chants are there on YouTube. And after that, the opening stanza indicates a pluralistic world of perception. If we study Tattva Viveka, we are studying Tripti Deepa in our Vedanta Shravana Sadhana on this YouTube, Tripti Deepa Prakaranam, we are seeing how This whole world that we see is an illusion, and the self is not this body, mind, and intellect. The self is the Atman. We are seeing that. So, how is it possible? In a very poetic language, the first verse describes to us. Let us see if we are able to see the first verse today. Otherwise, we will look into it tomorrow. In a couple of weeks, we will be reflecting upon this verses of the Sri Dakshinamurti Stotram. The tune is also very lilting. Maunavyakya prakatita param Brahma tattvam yuvanam Varshishthante vasadrishi ganai Avritam brahmanishthai Acharyendram karakalita Chinmudramanandarupam Swatmaramam muditavadanam Dakshinamurti mide Swatmaramam muditavadanam Dakshinamurti mide. This is a description of Bhagavan Shiva, the Adi Guru, how he would have been. Just imagine, we are seeing our teachers, we are seeing our masters right now, the Swamis who are teaching us. How would have been the first Swami, the Adi Guru, how he would have been. This verse describes that. A very, very beautiful description. Teachers are not people who have grey beards and grey matted locks and are sitting in meditation. Teachers can be very young boys. And that is this description of Sri Dakshinamurti. Mauna Vyakya. Teachers need not be talking. That is what Bhagavan Adi Shankara, they say, Dakshinamurti was in Mauna. Adi Sankaracharya was that Mauna who was talking all his life, talking from the verses of the Vedanta, according to the requirement of the times. Everybody will not be understanding in silence. People of these times need the teacher to speak. And that is what Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya was. He is writing about the Adi Guru, who was Mauna Vyakya. We are giving talks on YouTube today on all these texts. On what channel or what medium did the Adi Guru give his talk? He gave the talk through the channel of silence. Even when we do the Gayatri Havan and many other pujas, there is a time when you finish this sending away Agni Visarjanam, Agnaye Tvam Samudram Gaccha, Prithvi Tvam Shitala Bhava. You send the Agni, you send the fire in the Homakunda to the Samudra, and you say, may the earth be cool, because we have heated up the earth to do our Havan. We pray that the earth be cool again, and then we chant the Swasti mantra, Shanti mantra, Swasti, Om. Then we say, may everybody, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Vashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, Om Purnamada. We chant all that. We have raised our energies to chant the Gayatri mantra 108 times and offer into the Ahuti. And we have chanted all the concluding mantras, and our action is over. And then what do we say? Atha Maunam. We just sit quietly at the end of the Havan. Because the chanting is also prayer, the learning is also prayer, the offering is also prayer, the Maunam is also prayer. So Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji says, what is the language or what is the speech of Sri Dakshinamurti? Mauna Vyakya. Mauna is the language of the Munis. Munis are the people who are constantly reflecting. Manana Shilavan iti Munihi. And when the Munis are in reflection, they are not talking to anybody else, but reflecting within themselves, just bringing up the thoughts for discussion, throwing light on those thoughts. The light of consciousness falls on those thoughts, and that they just are seated in meditation on those thoughts. Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Para Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam. What does he speak? What does Dakshinamurti speak? Sitting in Mauna, Prakatita, he is explaining, he is expressing, he is presenting. What is he presenting? The knowledge of that Parabrahman, the knowledge of who am I, is being taught by Bhagavan Sri Dakshinamurti in the state of Mauna. Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam. How is this? How old is he? He is not 80 years or 90 years. He is just around 16. Yuva is in his teenage, maybe lesser than that. But ideally, we like that name 16 because it comes in between the teenagers. Yuvanam. Varshishta ante. Varshishta ante. Vasat. Rishiganaihi. There are rishis sitting around him. They are all the Antevasis. It is like the dean of academics with a great university, a Gurukula of those days. And who are these rishis? They have come from all parts of the world. They are very, very old people. Old means not in age. In wisdom, they are old. They have done a lot of sadhana. They have become the embodiments of tapasya, of meditation, of contemplation, of japa, seeking to know the truth. They are all seated ante vasat. Ante vasat means they are antevasis, living with the guru. The guru is young and the students are older, senior people. Rishi Ganaihi. Who are these students? They are not ordinary people who don't know anything, who are coming on now. The other day, I went for a very beautiful talk. A lady from a distant location, she traveled all the way and she gave a talk in Puduchery. People who were all sitting, the talk was so immersive. It was on chakras, on nadis, on the truth, on the self, on Adi Sankaracharya, on Lalita Sahasranama. So many different topics she covered so beautifully. Unfortunately, there were around 15 people. And out of the 15 people, they all understood something. But everybody said, I don't know. They did not even allow her to talk in Sanskrit. And they were pressurizing her not to use Sanskrit words. If you pressurize a teacher like this to not enter into the flow of the talk, why are they pressurizing? Because they are not equipped enough. They have not studied. They have just come to listen like a pastime. They are just listeners. But here these are not just listeners. Varshishchante vasad rishiganaihi avrutam. They are all also Brahmanishtas. The students of the Vedas, the students of the Upanishads, they are also spending their time contemplating on the truth. Like the Guru, they are also Brahmanishta. Brahmanishta is one who has heard the truth, reflected on the truth, and are contemplating on the truth. Brahmanishtaihi, the scholars in the Vedas. Acharya Indram, this teacher is there. He is a teacher among all teachers. This Sri Dakshinamurti. What is he having in his hand? Karakalita. He is holding the sign, the mudra of Chin mudra. Chin is consciousness. Chit is consciousness. When you are keeping your hands in this position, either in the flat position or pointed upwards or closed, it is all referring to keeping the mind alert and awake in a state of consciousness. So this Guru, this Acharya Indram, is sporting the Chin Mudra. What is this Chin Mudra? Chin Mudra has its own power of taking the mind to a state of knowledge, to keeping us in a very meditative state. There is no doubt this has that power, even if you, without knowing the meaning. It is like, if you want the light in the room, you don't need to know the meaning or how this light is working or how the electricity is passing through the wires to the, you don't need to know all that. You just need to go and put the switch and the light will be on. In the same way, if you want to experience consciousness, you can keep your hands in Chin Mudra. But this has a meaning also. This thumb, index finger, represents a fire energy. This thumb represents a fire energy. The index finger represents the air energy. And these are space, earth and water. Space, earth and water are separated. Index finger is air and the thumb is fire. When you bring the fire and air together, it has control over water, earth and space. That is from the energetic point of view. From the spiritual point of view, we have, all human beings have three manufacturing defects called malas. Malas are impurities of mind. What are they? They are ahamkara, or we can even say avidya, kama, karma. Avidya is ignorance. Because I am not aware of who I am in reality, and I am not aware that this world is an illusion, I am suffering from this problem of avidya. Avidya is ignorance, and that leads to kama. Kama is asmita, ahamkara. I feel I am a small individual living in this body and enjoying and suffering. I have these desires and I entertain those desires. I get excited about filling those desires and I enjoy when I receive those desires and I suffer when I don't get those desires fulfilled. And I think I am fulfilled because of the desires. That is karma. And because I have karma, because I have avidya, I have karma or desire. And because I have desire, that desire is not going to allow me to sit quietly. That desire will propel me into action, which is karma. So when I keep my hands in Chin Mudra, I unite, this is Paramatma, this is Jivatma. Jiva is the individual, Parama is the Supreme Self. When I unite the Jivatma with the Paramatma, I keep away avidya, kama and karma. In Tamil, if you say Anavam, Kanmam, Maye. Anavam is ahamkara, which is joined along because it is the cause of ahamkara, is ignorance. Kanmam is desire. Maya is thinking that if I go and fulfill this in the world, if I get the desire fulfilled from the world, I will be happy and I don't have to do anything ever after. That is how all our habits are formed. Whether it is a cup of coffee or tea, or whether it is a cake or an ice cream, or whether it is drugs, alcohol, or any of those things that we go into this world for fulfillment of our desires, it comes within these three qualities that we possess of ignorance, arrogance, and action, seeking those fulfillment of desires from the objects of the world. So when we are in the state of meditation, when we are united with consciousness, we are away from these three qualities or the three malas. And this is the mudra that Dakshinamurti sports in his hand. If you go to any temple, Dakshinamurti will be dressed in yellow, dhoti and angavastram, and he will be sitting erect with the right leg over the left, or maybe I am not correct, the right leg over the left. Usually, it is not an allowed position for anybody to keep their leg in that manner. But he is a master. He is a fulfilled master, and so that is a posture. That is a posture of self-realization. He is seated and he is having the Chin Mudra in his hand, with the index finger and the thumb touching each other, and the 3 remaining fingers are staying far away together. Vasadrishi ganaihi avritam brahmanishthaihi acharyendram karakalita chinmudram. And how is he? Is he suffering his teaching? Is he complaining, oh my God, all these students, I don't know when they're going to realize, when they're going to stop coming around me and buzzing around me like bees. Buzz off, you students. He doesn't say that. He's Chinmudram Ananda Rupam Karakalita Chinmudram Ananda Rupam. He is the form of bliss. He is with eyes closed. He is sitting with Chinmudra. And what is he experiencing within? He is experiencing that state of joy. What is Ananda? It has got 3 movements of the mind, 3 modifications of the mind. Priya, Moda, Pramoda. Priya is when the object I love is there. I think about the object I love. That is Priya. Then Moda, when that object I love is coming close to me. It is there. It is just at my doorstep. The person I love, the situation I love, or the object I love is very close by, right in front of me. That is Moda. Pramoda is when I enjoy that object I love so much and I'm completely filled with that thought of that object within me. That is Pramoda. So when I'm sitting in bliss, it means I'm in Pramoda. Whatever I really love, I'm experiencing right now. And what is it that we can love? We can love the self. So in the Tripti Deepa also we saw yesterday's talk from the Brahmacharini Upanishad, Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. For the sake of the self, everything is dear. And so what is the most dearest thing in this world? When the most dearest thing is there with you, won't you be happy? So we are all unhappy because we don't know that the dearest thing is there with us right in this moment. So sitting in this Chin Mudra, eyes closed, with the right leg on the left knee, crossed on the left knee, Dakshinamurti is seated in bliss. Ananda Chin Mudram, Karakalita Chin Mudram, Ananda Rupam. Ananda is that state when you are so joyful that you are sharing that bliss with the world. It is not only Priya, Moda, Pramoda for myself. Once I experience that state of Pramoda, through my expressions, through my words, through my silence, through my eyes, through my actions, the hands, through my legs, I share this joy with the world. That is Ananda. Ananda means we can experience joy for ourselves only a little bit. But when we experience the joy with others, that is the state of Ananda. Here the Guru is sitting there in silence. Where is he sitting? That will be coming in the next verse. What is the location? For giving the YouTube talks also, we have a beautiful setup behind of the altar with Bhagwan and the lamp. What is the altar? Where does Dakshinamurti sit? And what is he enjoying? Karakalita Chinmudram Ananda Rupam. What is he actually enjoying? Swa Atma Ramam. He is enjoying his own self, enjoying that consciousness which is himself, enjoying in that knowledge of himself. Just imagine how beautiful will that discovery be. How amazing is that discovery that the self, or you can even say happiness. The self is one word, happiness is another word. That happiness which I am searching is me, myself. There is nothing else other than me that I need to know about happiness or joy or the self. Who is it? Who is the Lord of this universe? Who is the master of this universe? The self is the Lord of this universe. The self is the master of this universe. The self is capable of doing everything in this universe. The self alone is making everything happening in this universe. And that self am I. When I say that self am I, that I is a very important word. The I that we are referring to is consciousness. It is not the body. When I say that self am I, and I am walking, I am talking, it is not that self which walks, talks, sits, stands, engages in this world, does good actions, not that body, mind, and intellect, but the self which is consciousness. Svatma Ramam. So he's enjoying in that self. Rama means to enjoy. Ramate iti. Ramate. We are enjoying that bliss of that self. The word Bharati, the Bharata, the country called Bharata, and the Bharatiyas are people who are enjoying in the light of that self, enjoying in the light of that consciousness. How can you enjoy something? Only when you know what that is, you can enjoy. Enjoying that light of the self, enjoying the light of consciousness. Dakshinamurti is seated, enjoying in the consciousness, which is his own self. And how is his face? Mudita Vadanam. When we are enjoying something, we say out of the world, divine, beautiful, marvelous, Adbhutam, Vismaya. We are having the Adbhuta Rasa. When we have the Adbhuta Rasa, our whole head is aglow with that light of consciousness. Mudita Vadanam, when it is aglow with that light of consciousness, it is there. It is not something that is very difficult to come across in this world. Whenever you see very beautiful these Brahmachari Vatus with the head shaved and a tuft of hair, they're all taken a clean bath, they're wearing clean clothes and applied vibhuti and all everywhere they're full of devotion, and all of them are sitting together and chanting maybe Sahasrashirusham Devam Vishwaksham Vishwashambhuvam Vishwam Narayanam Devam Aksharam Paramam Padam Vishwadah Paraman Nityam Vishwam Narayanagum Harim. They're chanting the Narayana Suktam together, maybe 50 of them, and you see their faces, and you see the faces of all the people who are listening to that. It is just aglow with that light of consciousness. Light of consciousness is not something very rare that you can not find, and we are talking about something which has to be discovered and pulled out. It is there for the asking. It is like you go to an ATM and you withdraw money. You put in your card, you put in your credit card or your debit card, and then you withdraw money from the ATM. It is like that. Consciousness can be drawn like that. It is there. Money is not coming from the depths of the ATM machine. It is just there. It is kept there. You put in the card, you type in the numbers, you punch in the numbers, and you get the money. In the same way is this consciousness. You do whatever needs to be done. You keep your body in whatever position it has to be in. You train yourself to do that. It's a little bit effort, knowledge, and training is required. Train yourself to do that. Take the veena. You see the veena Vidwans who are all playing. You can see many videos on YouTube. When they are really enjoying that music, the music is doing something to them. It is triggering the deep state of awareness, the deep state of consciousness. They are enjoying as they play, and you can see the joy in their faces. So Dakshinamurti is here seated. The joy can come with knowledge also. Knowledge sparks joy. We call it the aha moment. We even put a bulb around that person's head. One electric bulb is flashing because something flashed inside and I have understood something. So Mudita Vadanam, when that understanding is there, this is the final understanding. This is the understanding of all understandings. This is the understanding that takes us to understand everything else very easily with ease. The understanding that I am that consciousness. When that happens, there is no worry, there is no sorrow, there is no anxiety, there is no pressure, there is no stress. I am that consciousness, and that consciousness is there wherever I go, whatever I need to do, whatever situation I am in, whatever person I am meeting, however difficult it may be, or however disturbing it may be, I don't need to worry one bit because I am that consciousness. The consciousness is aware. When I am in tune with that consciousness, I don't have to. I have the knowledge, I have the clarity, and I have the ability to do what needs to be done and either solve that problem, solve that situation, or enjoy that situation wherever I am posted, whatever I'm doing, enjoy it completely because I am that light of consciousness. I am enjoying because something beautiful has come before me. It is not because my life is dependent on that person, object, or situation. I have to enjoy. No. I am already blissful. As part of that bliss, something more blissful is coming before me, and I'm just sharing that bliss. Mudita Vadanam. The face is beautiful. Vadanam also means the speech, the words. When the face is expressive, beautifully expressing the condition of the mind, the words that come out also will be very charming, very beautiful. That Dakshinamurti, that Bhagavan Sri Dakshinamurti, the actual meaning is the god facing south, the form that faces south. Dakshinamurti is seated in the north and he is facing south. Dakshinamurti. Dakshina also means very skilled. Dakshina means master. When we give somebody, we give something, we say we give Dakshina. Dakshina is given to the Daksha, a very skilled person. The person of self-realization is not somebody who has lost out on the world, who is not able to figure out anything in the world, who is not able to figure out what to do in the world, is a loser in the world, and so he comes and sits in meditation and then he attains. No, he is a master in the world. He has mastered the Vedas, which means he has mastered the worldly knowledge also. The Vedas teach us the worldly knowledge of how to earn wealth, how to live a happy family, how to grow your business, how to take care of the family very well, what to do for your ancestors, what to do for the gods, what to do for society, how to rule a kingdom, how to fight in a war. Everything is taught in the Vedas. How to keep yourself healthy, Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Yajurveda, Rigveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, Gandharva Veda, how to sing beautifully, how to play musical instruments beautifully, how to do yoga beautifully, how to heal others beautifully. All this is Veda. And a guru is the one who has mastered the Vedas. And then he comes to the Upanishads or the Vedanta. And then he realizes that I am that self which I've been seeking. And he has become a master of that also. So that Dakshina, he is a Daksha. He is a skilled master. Murti in living form. It is not just, we are not talking of somebody who is as a concept or an ideal. No, this is a living person. This is a living teacher. This is a living master who is in this form as Dakshinamurti. Shiva, that breath of life which is brimming with consciousness, awareness, with knowledge, is seated right there to guide us on the path towards liberation. Dakshinamurtim Ide. I worship that Dakshinamurti. I salute that Dakshinamurti. Why do we worship somebody? We say India is a land of hero worshippers because we worship God all the time. We are worshipping people. What does worship mean? Worship is actually work. A form of work is worship. Worship is a work we do. What is that work? The work we do by giving respect and giving love to somebody, something, some object, some situation is worship. We pay, which means we are paying attention to something with our love and with respect. Then it becomes worship. Worship is not actually doing all this. It is also If you do all these things, if you do the puja, arti, show the agarbatti, chant the stotras, the capacity to worship well will increase and our love will increase. But worship, why do we worship? We cannot do everything ourselves. We are not capable of knowing everything ourselves or doing everything ourselves or getting everything done by ourselves. We need people, we need other members in the society. So we treat others with love and respect. We worship them. Why do we worship God or Guru in the form of Dakshinamurti? Anything that I pay attention to, that increases in my life on a day-to-day basis. Where attention goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, my mind is there. Where my prana flows to something, my mind is resting on that. If my mind is not capable of resting in myself, my mind is not capable of resting here as my own self, because I have my own problems, my own sufferings, my own ideas or thoughts about myself, my own traumatic experiences which I carry with me wherever I go, and I believe that is my identity. I don't have the best identity of myself at all times. So at those times, you choose a nice identity. Vitaraga Vishayam Va Chittam, says the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. There are many ways by which you can concentrate the mind. One way is focusing your attention on a person who has given up desires. Who are all the people who have given up desires? Our great masters like Shuka Brahma Maharishi, Veda Vyasa, Bhagavan Adi Sankaracharya, or the gods Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. They have given up all their desires and they're all living for the welfare of the world. They're all still existing in a formless state or with form. There are many people who exist. So when you pay attention to them, when you meditate on them, dhyana is only paying attention with love. When you're taking care of your child very well at home, it is dhyana. When you're maintaining your house very beautifully, keeping it neat and tidy, it is dhyana. When you're taking care of your husband, it is dhyana. When the husband is taking care of the wife, it is dhyana. When the daughter is taking care of the father, it is dhyana. When the father is taking care of the child, it is dhyana. When the mother is cooking in the kitchen and serving with love for the family, that is dhyana. Everything which we pay attention to is dhyana. The ultimate form of dhyana is meditation, where we don't do anything, we just pay attention to a thought with love and respect. In the same way, we are paying attention to the thought of Dakshinamurti with love and respect. And that is Dakshinamurti Stotram Dhyanam. We begin with, we will look into a couple of verses tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. And very auspiciously, this is also the Guru Hora on Thursday, the 6:30 or the sunrise time. From sunrise 1 hour is a Guru Hora, and very auspiciously we begun this Dakshinamurti Stotram at this time. Let us continue. Hari Om.